I'm back with Daniel Elliott, and we're going to talk about language. Daniel, do you want to just remind us who you are again?
Yeah, my name is Daniel Elliott, and I live here in Nanaimo, which is the name for Nanaimo in our language, with my wife and two dogs and two cats. And I uh, I was born in Ladysmith Hospital, but my community is from Staminas, which is just across the water there from Ladysmith. So I've been an island boy my whole life, and I grew up connected to my culture, but I was also disconnected. And part of what happened with our people was we weren't allowed to say our language, and it was kind of driven out. So that was a hard for my dad to not learn how to speak our language. And so it was part of what happened. And now we have all these language people, and we have people wanting to learn our language. And our language is called Halkomitnum, and it's spoken amongst all of our Coast Salish people. And it's been kind of a challenge for me because I have my English background in language, so I'm having to learn like a non-native person to learn our language. My uncles and my dad were always teaching us, we call it slang, and sometimes some not very good words. So I was like, okay, I'm not speaking our
Those are
language.
the ones you learn first, right?
I know. And I was just like, okay, I'm not going to say these words. And then I was really curious about learning our language and some of the sounds. There's like four sounds in our language that are not made in Hulkaminum. And I did a grade 7 class, and I said, I'm going to teach you the word for cougar, and I'm going to ask you in June. And this was in September, and at a little school called Waterloo School here in Nanaimo. And I said, so I took this really cool memory course, and so the word for cougar is huslachnats, and that's kind of hard to remember,
So,
and
let me let
especially
me let me try it.
okay,
Huschlag nuts.
yeah,
Is that it?
huslachnats. And there's a sound in the background, but come June, it would be hard to remember that. But this really cool memory program I took was you associate it with something that you already know and what it sounds like. So when I thought, what does that sound like? It sounds like who's lug nuts, and it's a cougar. So I put those two things together. So I pictured this. I pictured a cougar broken down with a flat tire, and he's got all the lug nuts on his sharp claws. And he just looks at you and he goes, who's lug nuts?
Huschlag
And
nuts.
and you know what? Those kids in June, they're all like, okay, guys, I'm getting ready to leave, but who remembers what cougar was? Oh, it's lug nuts. And they all jumped up and cheered. So there's a way that we can train our brain to learn painlessly. And so I've been trying to learn our Hokominum language, and it's fairly new in the written form and how we learn. And I'm so glad that I see other people that are not Indigenous learning our language. And just for giggles, I've been learning German. I've been learning German the last 4 weeks. I'm on a program, and I wished I had that program for Hokominum, but you know what? It's just say what you can say, a couple of words, and I'm going to teach you. Heichka is thank you.
Heichka. That's one I know.
Yeah,
But
and
I find that it's like who's lug nuts, but it's the pronunciations, the
yes,
sounding of it, because you say it again.
it's Huslach nuts is cougar,
Lug nuts.
and but it the cougar in the car and that is enough to remind me. Oh yeah, there's a sound that comes out of my throat, and so I learned 150 Hulkominum words in like 2 days with this system that I learned.
Wow. Yeah.
Probably remember most of them, and if you don't use them, then things get kind of put off to the side. But it's a beautiful language, and it's coming back. I remember seeing something in National Geographic and said Hulkaminum language was on the endangered language list, but
Yeah.
I see more and more people speaking it, and I feel so proud. So if you can say Haichka or Namakwa is actually thank you. So somebody
Namakwas.
says
Namakwa.
Namakwa,
Namakwa.
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 Yeah. And so even if you just say a word or two to an Indigenous person, Oh, that makes their heart feel so good. It just knows that you care.
And
So if you
being
learn
on
a
the
word,
being on the endangered species means that
yeah,
in time nobody will be able to speak it
yeah,
anymore, which is really
sad. And
it's part of their culture and their life, and it's
it's
gone.
true. So as an adult, I started really in my late 30s to try and learn our language. So I can say quite a bit and learn it, but it takes a while. And my elders just say, you know what, even if you know a word or two, say them and just keep saying them, and then you keep adding to it. So when we learn our languages, it's tells us who we are and how we're connected, and it's a really beautiful thing. So if you're from a different nation or a different country, say a few words from where your aunt and grandparents are from. It's a beautiful thing. It allows you to connect to who you really are.
And you were saying that we need more opportunities
We do.
to uh, practice our language. And I think that's really important, is creating these
Mhm.
opportunities. And just my big problem is I don't want to try it because I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, but you just got to try it, and then
And
even
I know I'm not going to be very good at it.
but you're trying, and that's what's important.
Well,
So I
Dan,
really thank you. Our language is beautiful, and I think when we think about learning some new words and new languages, go for it. Don't be afraid, and don't be afraid to say hi to an elder in their language.
Haichka and
Namakwa.
Namakwa. I
You're
knew it was
welcome.
Namakwa.
Yeah.
9 o'clock. And we will be back again. Who knows what we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
but it's going to be fun. So we hope you'll come back with us. Haichka,
I-
Namakwa. We'll see you again.
And don't forget cougar.